Enlightening, provocative, engaging. The Lunchroom on RCI. Food for thought. The station that gives you, well, more lunch.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Lunchroom on Radio Caribbean International. It is Wednesday, September the 4th, 2024.
One tiles for your home, I see. Bathroom, kitchen, pantry. Need tiles for your balcony. Come down to tiles plus satisfaction guarantee. Tiles plus, tiles plus, tiles plus. Big tiles with unbeatable cost. Customer service, A plus. Need all kind of tiles. Come down to tiles plus. We also got gasware and vanity. Books, doors, you'll see. Come down to mine, nobody. We got the best tiles on island. Trust me. We are located Land Street in Castries, Bosses Jugozi Lane, and Flag Street in Beaufort. Telephone number 453-7939.
Serving now, the Daily Dish.
Fellow St. Lucians, today we stand on the cusp of a new academic year, and I am both honored and privileged to address you as the Minister of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training, reflecting on the strides we have made and the promising future ahead. Over the past year, our ministry's initiatives have been guided by deliberate strategy, ensuring that the new year will be marked by meaningful change, productivity, and progress. The commencement of an academic year is a significant occasion when the focus of our nation is placed on the thousands of students, teachers, and personnel in the education system. In the case of students transitioning to new schools and their parents, the occasion is particularly special. Our government places a premium on education and remains steadfast in our belief that education is the cornerstone of any thriving society, and as such, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has significantly increased the allocation for some of the most critical areas of programming in the Ministry of Education in order to enhance our educational framework, drive innovation, and support our transformative agenda. The additional resources will continue to enhance our approach to education, equipping our schools with the tools and support necessary to create enriched learning environments. Allow me to share a few key initiatives that will be central to our efforts this year. We are formally introducing the Creole language, Creole, into the curriculum on a phased basis at the infant level in selected schools. Additionally, the Mandarin language program at St. Joseph's Convent and St. Mary's College, supported by the Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan, will be expanded to include the Vieux-Fort Comprehensive Secondary School. The introduction of Creole will help foster an appreciation for our rich cultural heritage, enrich our students' linguistic abilities, and broaden their global outlook. Our government remains committed to incorporating technology in the teaching and learning process and digital education as a whole. Consequently, we are providing every Form 1 student with a Chromebook laptop in keeping with our One Laptop Per Child program. Their counterparts in Forms 2, 3, 4, and 5 would have already received theirs. We are poised to fully roll out locally developed digital content in 10 subject areas by January 2025. Teacher training will be ongoing to support this initiative, and also to ensure effective delivery, we urge parents and teachers to make full use of the digital resources provided. Technical and vocational education and training TVET is at the heart of our educational reform. 4 new TVET schools will offer industry-standard curricula and facilities, positioning our students to meet labor market demands, fostering entrepreneurship, and contributing to a more skilled workforce. These schools fall under the broad nomenclature of St. Lucia TVET Institute and are differentiated as follows. The former Stanley John Odlum Memorial Secondary School is now the Stanley John Odlum School of Arts, Media, and Design. The former Grand Riviere Secondary School is now the School of Sustainable Agriculture and Culinary Arts. The Angers Secondary School is now the School of Innovation and Technology. And the PI Secondary School is now the School of Construction and Heritage. At the mentioned schools, the traditional classroom settings of benches and desks have been replaced by modern barbershops, state-of-the-art kitchens, construction workshops, etc. Graduates from these schools will be ready for immediate immersion into the workforce. School security remains a priority, and we are investing an additional $500,000 to enhance safety measures based on last year's security audit. This includes installing perimeter lighting, increasing security personnel, fencing, and upgrading camera and alarm systems. Over the past 3 years, our government has facilitated over 1,000 bursaries and scholarships for higher education. This is in keeping with our goal of having at least 1 university graduate per household. The Safa Louis Community College and the National Skills Development Center, NSDC, will benefit from a $15 million injection to address skills shortages and enhance employability of citizens with an increased focus on the youth. Early childhood education. We are investing heavily in early childhood education, recognizing its critical role in child development. Recent financial support for private preschools and early childhood centers and additional funding for early learners are part of our broader effort to expand access and improve educational outcomes at this critical level. Just over 1 week ago, Prime Minister Philip J. presented every private preschool with a check of $2,500. The Prime Minister also promised approximately $150,000 this term to support parents of early learners. An additional $1.3 million is being invested in early childhood education and expansion of access through the Pre-K initiative. A new center is being constructed in Bel Air, Castries Southeast to serve the children of that community, while the Granivier Center in Dennery North and the preschool in Pasias Monrepo will become government-run centers. These investments geared towards the cognitive and social development of our young learners also align with the United Nations 2030 agenda of achieving universal early childhood education. Our government continues to pay facilities fees for every child in the public primary and secondary school system. Teachers continue to receive the increased teaching material allowance, or TMA as we call it. This year, every teacher receives $1,400 as TMA. The government has once again committed to meeting the CXC CSEC English and Mathematics fees for all Form 5 students enrolled at public secondary schools. A second vice principal has been recruited for the Vieux-Fort Comprehensive Secondary School to enhance operational efficiency given the workload at that institution. As was the case last year, every child entering Form 1 receives a $500 bursary, a brand new laptop computer, facilities fees paid in full, and other forms of support. This academic year, we are reinstating principals' assistants, clerical officers who function as secretaries to primary school principals. Financing has been approved for 21 principals' assistants in the first instance. This will enable better supervision and more effective school management. Our commitment to improving school infrastructure continues. 16 schools are currently benefiting from significant infrastructural upgrades through a $16 million injection to complement the ongoing school rehabilitation program across the island. As work progresses at the various school buildings, we anticipate interruptions to classes at some schools. The Chief Education Officer has instituted measures to ensure the safety of students and staff while minimizing learning loss. In recent times, the Ministry of Education has reported a general improvement in local and regional examination performances at all levels, namely MST, CPEA, CSEC, and CAPE. While we note these commendable achievements, the performance of mathematics at the CSEC and all levels in our education system continues to be an area of concern. Recognizing the need for continued focus on mathematics, Prime Minister Philip J. has allocated $250,000, or $500,000, for improved mathematics instruction this year. We are increasing our complement of school counselors and attendance officers to ensure the psychosocial well-being of our staff and students. As we advance, we must remain vigilant against emerging health concerns such as Mpox by adhering to health guidelines and taking the necessary precautions. Our collective responsibility is essential in maintaining a safe learning environment. Let us honor the legacy of our educators who have passed, particularly Principal of the Labrie Boys Primary School, Mr. Julian Dasheville, whose dedication to education will forever be etched in our memories. In closing, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our education officers, principal, teachers, parents, administrative and ancillary staff for their continued dedication towards the success of our students. I encourage all students to obey their parents and teachers this school year. I want our students to be disciplined and respectful. Let us embrace this new academic year with enthusiasm, resilience, and a shared commitment to excellence. United, we will navigate the challenges ahead and embrace the opportunities for growth and progress. I wish you all a successful and fulfilling academic year 2024-2025. Voulez pour l'occasion pour adresser pep pays cette lycée, un jour avant l'année l'école neuf qui a commencé. Moi, je dire pep cette lycée, que le gouvernement honorable Philippe J. Pierre, j'ai mis en pile l'argent en système éducation pour bailler maman pays cette lycée, en chance et puis opportunité, côté yo ça engagé à bagay qui fait yo développer pour venir citoyen qui fait une bonne contribution au développement pays nous. Gouvernement l'année ça a bailler tout maman qui a entré l'école secondaire pour première fois $500, ça nous a coûté $500 bursary. Yo ka jouer un laptop computer neuf et puis facilities free qu'à payer by yo. Gouvernement a aussi mis des démarches en place que chaque teacher en système l'école cette ici kay joine $1,400 pour aider yo acheter bagay qui kay fait yo plus effective en dedans classroom. Nous jani en l'année qui passé en pile difficulté qu'à manager affaires sécurité en l'école. Et puis l'année ça gouvernement a point des marches from Ministry of Education pour voir qui nous mettait plus bagay en place comme caméra les plus moun nous ka employer con security pour voir que environnement l'école nous kay plus safe pour ces mamans là. On va pour l'occasion pour souhaiter tout maître l'école, tout teacher, tout maman, tout parent et tout monde qui travaille en système d'éducation en général. En bonne année, que nous avons fait succès et nous avons aussi garder maman nous en manière que nous avons développé pour venir citoyen pays nous qui a fait cette lycée en première place. Let me once again take the opportunity to wish everybody in the education fraternity a productive 2024-2025 academic year.
This has been The Daily Dish.
One tiles for your home, I see. Bathroom, kitchen, pantry. Need tiles for your balcony. Come down to Tiles Plus, satisfaction guarantee. Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus. Big tiles with unbeatable cost. Customer service, A plus. Need all kind of tiles. Come down to Tiles Plus. We also got gasway and vanity. Box, doors, you'll see. Come down to mind nobody. We got the best tiles on island. Trust me. We are located Land Street in Castries, Bosses Jugosile, and Flag Street in Viewfort. Telephone number 453-7939.
Girl, I've been so stressed searching for the perfect tiles to complete my home.
Really?
Yeah, it's always the same white, beige, and gray tiles with these tile stores. Like they're all buying from the same place. You're the design expert. Help me, please. I'm fed up.
What are you looking for?
Something different. Something that says Caribbean beauty and suits my personality. Something vibrant and classy with a little razzle dazzle.
Okay, Ms. Razzle Dazzle, I know just the place. Island Style Tile and Bath, they're my #1 store for everything tile. And with their new In Living Color collection, you'll find the most gorgeous styles to give you that splash of Caribbean flair you're looking for.
That sounds perfect.
I'll even take you myself and throw in a free design consultation.
I'll never say no to that, sis. I can't afford you anyway.
Visit our Island Style showrooms in Castries, Rodney Bay, and Viewfort, or call 450-452 or 453 Tile. We'll help bring your vision to life in living color.
This is Radio Caribbean International. It's now time for the weather news.
And also, of course, the 1.1 is downtime for your weather report as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Talent Bar. The forecast for St. Lucia Valley for the next 24 hours. The winds will be blowing from between the east-northeast, near 15 miles per hour or 24 kilometers per hour. The weather fair to partly cloudy with a few showers. The forecast for Los Angeles, fair to partly cloudy skies with a few brief showers. And the tropical weather outlook, the Atlantic high pressure system will generate light to moderate easterly winds across the Los Angeles during the next few days. A tropical wave located over the central tropical Atlantic is moving westward at near 20 miles per hour or 31 kilometers per hour. This wave has a low chance of tropical cyclone formation during the next 7 days. A second tropical wave located over the eastern tropical Atlantic is moving westward near 15 miles per hour or 28 kilometers per hour. This wave also has a low chance of tropical cyclone development during the next 7 days. And this was your weather report as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Talent Bath.
This has been RCI's Weather News. For more information, call the Weather Hotline at 454-3452. RCI 101 number 1.
Girl, I've been so stressed searching for the perfect tiles to complete my home.
Really?
Yeah, it's always the same white, beige, and gray tiles with these tile stores. Like they're all buying from the same place. You're the design expert. Help me, please. I'm fed up.
What are you looking for?
Something different. Something that says Caribbean beauty and suits my personality. Something vibrant and classy with a little razzle dazzle.
Okay, Ms. Razzle Dazzle, I know just the place. Island Style Tile and Bath, they're my #1 store for everything tile. And with their new In Living Color collection, you'll find the most gorgeous styles to give you that splash of Caribbean flair you're looking for.
That sounds perfect.
I'll even take you myself and throw in a free design consultation.
I'll never say no to that, sis. I can't afford you anyway.
Visit our Island Style showrooms in Castries, Rodney Bay, and Viewfort, or call 450-452 or 453 Tile. We'll help bring your vision to life in living color.
In a landmark development for St. Lucia's educational landscape, students will soon receive formal instruction in the island's traditional language when Creole instruction commences at the start of the new academic year. Executed under the St. Lucian Creole Curriculum Pilot Program, in September, teaching will commence at 14 primary schools and one private institution, with grades K, 1, and 3 receiving two 30-minute lessons per week. This historic step marks the culmination of decades of advocacy and highlights a profound commitment to preserving and revitalizing St. Lucia's rich cultural heritage. According to Gianetti George, Education Officer in the Curriculum and Material Development Unit, CAMDU, the inclusion of Creole in St. Lucia's education system is a much anticipated milestone for the island.
While we will be beginning this program as a pilot, it will give us the opportunity for us to finesse, improve, and continue working on the development of our Creole curriculum. It gives us this opportunity to safeguard our linguistic history, but it also gives us an opportunity for us to integrate our culture into our curriculum. So we are very ecstatic about that. We are very happy about that.
At a recently held training and orientation session for educators, facilitators provided instruction on several pertinent areas, including the Creole writing system, grammar, difficult sounds, as well as lesson planning and assessment. Implementation will place focus on oral components while exploring nuances of the language. The formal writing system for St. Lucian Creole was developed some 43 years ago in 1981. The introduction of Creole instruction is expected to provide students with an additional tool for cognitive development, enhancing their language capabilities and cultural literacy. According to workshop facilitator Lindiane Alexander, the shift is hoped to assist youth in connecting with their community and heritage while engaging in traditional practices which are integral to St. Lucian culture.
We have had to be patient. We've waited 43 years to have Creole being considered entering the schools. They've been using the Creole to reach the children, to explain to the children. So the Creole has been in the schools there with the teachers for a long time, but it's never been in a formal way. So now we stop going through the back door. We are coming in now with Creole into the schools through the front door. Creole kai go monsieur actuellement.
A shift in attitude toward the language, Alexander says, is one adjustment which supports the teaching of a Creole curriculum, as it is now understood learning Creole does not affect one's ability to learn English. Primary school teacher Zarella Filbert welcomes the change.
Today, knowing that it is a pilot project that has been on stream and it will be implemented, this is one of the greatest things as Saint Lucians we need to be proud of. Kweyola est vivant. Et puis, jodia, nous, teacher, hors l'école primaire, nous, ka faire des marches pour nous faire ça travail. Et puis, en chai, Jean, Timamay, Guamoun, ils sont succès parce que nous pas savent ite kay fait comme ça, mais jodia, c'est un bon jour.
The inclusion of Creole instruction in schools reflects a growing acknowledgement of the value of indigenous languages worldwide and underscores recognition by the Ministry of Education of the importance of integrating cultural elements into the learning process. As St. Lucia embraces this new era in education, the Creole curriculum stands as a symbol of progress, unity, and respect for the island's vibrant heritage. From the Communications Unit of the Department of Education, Innovation, and Vocational Training, I am Kiba Taliam.
good afternoon, and welcome to the lunchroom. What's on your plate today? Hello, caller. Okay, I believe our caller is listening to themselves, listening to the radio. Hi, caller, you there?
But what if you go to go to a school and then you have a choice of English and French, Spanish, and Creole, and you said you don't like Spanish or French, but you want to teach Creole, and they're telling you, but nobody's really applying for Creole.
Nobody's applying for Creole, so you.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I mean, we have sometimes these sort of situations where some schools will not provide or they don't have a teacher so for a particular subject.
Yeah, because it's
so
just
that
like
they
say
don't.
after it's just winter after you really don't want to dispense because you don't think you will you can't because you do very very well except in language. You do the Spanish well. You cannot do the French, but if you don't, you'll try the Creole because maybe you will able to master it and you to say no that but nobody is not really doing taking it on. So I have to start with one person. I want you to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the point, and it has to start somewhere, and it needs to be expanded. The first place you have to really start is to ensure that you actually have the teachers, and you're making a very important point
But
that
if
you
they
need to
would
have.
have teacher, because if it's on the curriculum there, then they should have a teacher there. Why is it there? Because there's somebody trained that they want to do it.
Are you referring to Sir Arthur Lewis in particular?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Well, in fact, I think at one point there was
Yeah.
the very same person who you would have heard in that clip, Mrs. Lindian Alexander, and she taught Creole for very many years. In fact, she was even, I think, at the dean of the what used to be considered DAGs. I'm not sure what it's called now. So I don't know if that's an interesting point that you're making. You know, I remember even at UE, there was the Center for Language Learning, which is a languages institute kind of at St. Augustine in Trinidad. And you could do languages from, not just the French and Spanish, you could do German, Italian, Yoruba, and they were also teaching Creole, as far as I can recall. I know so there were a number of languages that were being offered.
But
And
can't
it
you do
might be
languages?
good if we can see that at some point, maybe through South Lewis Community College, that could be potentially offered.
But can't you do languages online?
Well, there are a lot of platforms, software that offer it, Duolingo and Rosetta Stone, and there are a lot of these which help you.
Yeah.
But language acquisition, I mean, that's one form where people go to, but then, of course, there are other areas where you can kind of help and assist in terms of learning, acquiring language, which is, of course, why if you want to maybe learn French better, you go to a French-speaking country and spend some time there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because my daughter lives overseas, but she wanted to do one of her classes down here but online. But I'm sure in the class she would have to do Spanish, and they said no, she have to actually be in class.
Well, again, maybe that's an opportunity for the South Lewis Community College. If you actually develop the programming and the content, it could potentially be an online offering.
Yes,
and that might be something that you could offer people who may want to, maybe
because
people
she
who
went
want
to
to.
Zafa. She spent 2 years, but she lives overseas. But she just like to do some classes through Zafa.
Right.
And,
So people living in diaspora, it could be expats, maybe people who are coming to St. Lucia, they want to, who are going to move to St. Lucia, they may want to get a Creole language course ahead of time, and ordinary people as well, because we sometimes we think you understand a language because you've been speaking it, but then it's sometimes a little different when you actually have to learn it, eh? And invariably, what is being pushed as well is literacy. So speaking is one aspect, but the reading and writing, right? That's another aspect that has to be taught. Now, thankfully, the system that they use for Creole is a phonetic-based system. So how you write it is how it is there's a fixed system of, it's pronounced as is. And so it is to be learned easier that way because it's phonetic. But it still has to be learned. Right? And it's something that we actually have to do. In fact, just to give you an example, you see sometimes, people have, they tell you WPC, right?
Yeah.
WPC. And
Yeah.
they take that to mean Wepuchu, right? Um, but then that that C, where people think it's a C,
Yeah.
in Creole is actually a T,
Yeah.
because the ch sound in the way
Yeah.
it is written in Creole is actually
Different.
TJ. TJ is for the
Aye.
ch sound. The CH is actually a sh. It's a softer, the softer sound, the softer
Kind
C.
of thing. Because patois is something, if I have to read it, I don't think I can, because I don't speak much patois. I speak very little patois. I understand patois clearly. Anything you come in patois, I know. But actually speak it, that's not possible for me to do at all.
Well, you too will probably have to do that course, Scholar. So you see,
Yeah.
and the reality is, and this is the risk that we are facing. We have a lot of young people, younger than myself, and sometimes they don't even see the utility of it at all, right? So why would they don't
And
see a
then
point?
my family members that live overseas and the young ones that born overseas, when they come and they want to learn the patois, that's
Yes,
the thing.
yes. But there are many languages that have gone through these sort of dying phases
Yeah.
because of colonialism. The languages are suppressed, and with the rise of nationalism.
But how Mr. Walker is able to master it?
Well, of course, and anybody can speak any language
And
around the
we
world.
that
We
live in
can do
there,
that.
and we
Um,
that live in it cannot.
you don't have
Yeah.
to be native to be able to necessarily speak a
Yeah.
language,
Yes.
right?
Because
But
there was a year, the Catholic Church, Junior Creole, the priest came from New Jersey. It was a white guy. He came from New Jersey. And he made the whole service in patois. Within the year he came down to San Jose, going to 2 years, he actually decided to make the Creole service in
right,
patois.
right. And there's some
Fully.
people who are good in languages, very, very
Yes.
good in languages. They pick it up in just
Yeah.
like that quicker than we can learn. Now, I mean, look at the Welsh, for instance. They've gone through that experience. The Irish had, they had their
Yeah.
own languages,
Good.
which were suppressed during colonial periods, and Scotland is a similar thing, right, with Gaelic, and and so you find even recently in Africa,
Yeah.
right? I think in Senegal, they were speaking to the fact that they were trying to promote Wolof
Mm-hmm.
more because they primarily spoke, well, not primarily, but a lot of people would just speak French, right?
Yeah.
Or French Creole, and but so they actually are now trying to promote the indigenous language
Yeah.
a lot more as well. And so those experiences are we're seeing it all around the world, where people are using language as a form of cultural identity, of opportunity
I
for
need to ask you
expression.
something that is sounding so comical. Right now, with rapid information due to technology, why is it you would have to leave St. Lucia, pay a passage, go to Washington, and actually see something,
Okola, you
and then
love
come back and say it will come back?
you love injecting a little bit of politics at the end, eh, Kola? Well, I mean that story in and of itself is yeah, that's an ongoing matter, which is very interesting because one would think though that if there is of course ongoing judicial matter, a case that is to
Yeah,
be heard, that should be the focus. But it seems as if there are two courts being sued upon, right? One is
yeah,
a U.S. court, and the other one is the St. Lucian Court of Public Opinion,
yeah.
and so of course that is where there are attempts to try to make lots of statements, and of course perhaps the issue is that the bar is lower within the St. Lucia Court of Public Opinion. All that you've got to
Yeah,
do is to
because how
create
can you go on?
perception.
Yeah.
So
But Sunday there was no discussion about that CIP on the program they had on Sunday. The barbecue thing on Sunday.
Oh,
That was never.
you were there, caller?
I was listening.
Oh, okay, it was live. Okay,
Yeah,
all
it was
right.
live and I was listening,
This
but
is
there was nothing
a
about it.
Labor
Was
Day
more.
event, a Labor Day event in
Yes,
UWP
and it was more like more throwing words and insulting and calling people volley. Like, what his name, Mr. Humingild Francis was calling the Hele a volley, and that's what he wants. His name is not Hele. Hele, what's his name? His Hele Volley, that's his name, and they're not talking about they had 50 million to do the Hall of Justice, and then you find Mr. Guy Joseph was more giving people jokes on the importance they can make children.
Well,
Calling Mr. McDowell and saying that he did not work, and then you find that even the former prime minister, he only spoke about trying to get us to the United States before the visa, and they will work on that until we're able to go
yes,
to
I did hear apparently about
all of that, and then
the no need
the
for
only person
visas
that
again,
came,
right?
he didn't think is, but although he was not invited, but he happened to hear of the meeting and he found himself there was Bradley Felix because he was not even at the roster. You find even Champagne talking about bread. They never gave
Oh,
any.
Champagne was involved too. Okay.
Yeah, Champagne was there. Whole shop Champagne talking about bread is 50 cents. I think they did not discuss anything they can do for the people in the diaspora or in St. Lucia. It was a whole lot of insults and abusive and saying, calling all the prime minister was called a macaroni by Champagne because he's so small. And insults and it's just like it was just
Caller, we're gonna have to put an end to it at this point. Thanks very much. Unfortunately, we're already out of time.
okay.
Take care. Have a good one.
Bye.
Of course, I caught